social media basics, I guess. A little bit more than basics. Today includes pixel retargeting, remarketing. But I had to write these down because I forgot them last time. Before we get started, if you go back to lecture number 1, it's how to write a social media strategy for whole of organisation, university or colleges. Number 2 is social media toolbox, so go straight into a tactical kind of lecture, strategic, tactical. Number 3 is content, calendars, scheduling, so on and so forth. Number 4 was last week, and that was analytics. And then today is on not only Facebook ads. Unfortunately, I could only fit in Facebook ads in the title. It's Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, not Google. You could do Google another time if you want. Let me know. I would like to know if you can hear me okay. I've been playing around with my setup. I've done quite a different technical setup. I'm not going to go through it at the moment, but I've had to change the vision switcher and the audio and the cameras and a whole range of things. So things are going to blink in and out because I'm having trouble. They're underpowered. And I'm only just discovering that. Oh, why didn't it do it earlier when I was recording it? Anyway, let's get on with the show. So if you haven't met me before, my name's Laurel Papworth. On Thursdays at 1 p.m, I do lectures, 1 hour lectures, around about that, Sydney time. Monday, 10:45 a.m. is social media news. And today we're doing social ads, a little bit beyond basics, not just boosting. Okay. All right. So what I wanted to show you was that on here we have, this is my website. And so what I do is I install pixels on my website so that I can track what people look at, what they're interested in, what they put in a shopping basket or sign up for an email newsletter or something similar. We'll just do a screen share, I think. Nope, we won't do a screen share. Okay. And I've installed in my browser Facebook Pixel Helper, and this lets me track the pixels in Chrome or Safari, whatever it is that we're looking at. Because we're going to tie those pixels back to an audience, and then that audience is going to have a specialist ad sent to them regarding the thing they looked at. So if you're a university and a student from Southeast Asia is looking at a law course, you can track what they're looking at and then send them ads and reminders later on about closing dates or something like that. So they think, oh yeah, I was interested in that course. I should ask for the information on it. Or maybe it's a medical course for somebody in Britain, or maybe it's postgraduate work for somebody in the USA, but this is going to all be tracked through the Facebook Pixel Helper. And LinkedIn has something very similar as well, which I'll show you after. So typically you'll want your page, and this is a training page, a mucking around page, but you'll want your page to be directing, the content will indicate how much you pay for the ads. There's no getting away from that. This may come as a big shock to you, but if your content on your page is pretty crappy, or it's not the right content to the right people at the right time, so it's not targeted, you'll pay a lot for your ads. Or even worse, they say, unfortunately, we were unable to deliver this ad because it was not the right ad to the right people, blah, blah, blah. So make sure your page is optimized. If you've been looking at the other lectures, you're ahead of the game anyway on that. We talk about Facebook optimization and the data sets in the algorithm optimization fairly extensively. So, Andy, thank you. Nice nightie. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm in a t-shirt and a hoodie. So, shh, be quiet. It's a lecture, I'm not chatting. All right, so let me see. Where are we? You can boost a post, and this is how a lot of people do it. They simply click boost post on the bottom left. Yep. Down here on the bottom right-hand side of the post that they've put up, and they do a really basic boost, couple bucks, and they walk away. Now, if you're going to do that, and I don't have an issue with boosting posts from within the page, particularly if you're about to leave the office on a Friday afternoon and you see something's already doing well, boost it so it keeps doing well over the weekend and it picks up some traction. I mean, I wouldn't do a whole ad campaign through boosting posts, but I do want to reiterate that for me, a campaign is not just slapping a whole lot of money down on a bunch of ads. It's about an ad campaign I'm talking about. It's about a narrative arc. It's about reinforcing messaging. It's about planning out a directed campaign, a calendar for your promotions and your ads. So you don't just have an editorial calendar for your page, Mondays is this and Fridays is that, but you actually have a directed narrative arc for your ad campaign, reinforcing messaging, picking up on what people are doing and then retargeting them, that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you the correct way to boost a post, but you can also use this for non-boosted posting, for dark posting. Dark posting is creating ads for things that are not appearing on your page, anything like that. So we're going to go into Ads Manager. Hopefully you can see this clearly. I wasn't happy with last week, so I dropped the resolution of my monitor down to 720. So I think it's going to be okay. Not sure. Who knows? Oh, my website picture at the top on my page. That's not a nightie. That's a really nice, expensive blue dress. Go away. But I do have my hair in rollers. Why do I have my hair in rollers? Because it's a play page and I don't want people taking it seriously or thinking it's best practice, because it ain't. It's me training. All right, so when we're in Ads Manager, facebook.com/Ads Manager, you may get to it in different ways. You may need to go in through Business Manager or Business Suite or something like that. Things are changing. Today is the 18th of March, so 2021, so who knows what it's going to look like next week. I know they're still rolling out Facebook version 5, and they had such a lot of delays last year because of COVID, so we're still going with it. Anyway, up in the top left corner is ... business tools, and instead of choosing Ads Manager, I want you to come across to Audiences. What we're going to do in Audiences is we're going to create our audiences so that we have the right audience, and then we're going to give them the right content at the right time. And if you do it this way, it means that you always have front and center which audience is going to get that message, because your alumni, medical course alumni people need a different message than your Southeast Asian undergraduates. I'm sorry about the flickering. It is underpowered. I need to fix that. So when we create an audience in Audiences, we're going to separate out saved audience, which is the manual audience, from the custom audience, which is the audience that's automatically generated by people coming to my website. So just think, if they went to Laurel's, if they went to the university page on how to apply for undergraduate medical studies, then they get, and if it's in Bahasa, then that specific page that's written in Bahasa and directed to Malaysian and Indonesian students, that becomes a special audience here in custom audiences. Saved audiences is just where we're manually going to say they live in this area, they speak this language, they go to this school, they do this, they do that. So let me show you both of them. I think that's going to be the best thing. Let me get out of the way. What am I doing down there? Okay, custom audience. If you're automatically generating the list from another list or from another activity that's not on Facebook, you can use custom audience. So for website custom audiences, this is based on your Facebook pixel that they visited a specific page or your whole website, or normally you want to do it more targeted than they just came to the front page. Given how much content is on university and colleges' websites, it's too general. You've got mums and dads, you've got locals, you've got overseas, you've got people coming in for one-off lectures, you've got people looking for jobs, you've got staff, you've got so many audiences, and they're never going to be interested in all of the things. So you're wasting money by doing that. Don't worry about me flashing on and off. It's just low powered. Customer list is one where you upload your CRM, content relationship management system export, or you can automate it. I don't know. It depends, up to you how much coding and stuff you're willing to do. You can upload your email list from MailChimp or whatever email program you're using. I forget what the universities are using. I think the ones I've worked with have mostly been all the American ones. MailChimp, the one that starts with A, which I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know which email program you're using. And then we've got the website one. So if I choose, let me show you both of these so that at least you've got an idea. Because what I would recommend for your homework is that you track down the pixel and then you make a decision if you want to, create some ads from it or not. But you don't actually have to create the ads for homework, but just try getting this far through the audience part. So what I'm saying is that people visited my pixel. That's named after my website. And then I say all website visitors, but I'm going to change that because I want the ones that specifically visited the Bahasa page or specifically visited the medical law architecture page or specifically visited the evening event on Monday lecture series or specifically visited the open day stuff, because I'm going to give them different ads, obviously. And then I think you can go up to 90, or maybe they made that more open now. 180 days. Okay. So what's that? Half a year. So I want to, if they visited my website and a specific page in the last 90 days, and then what I do is I choose the URL and I say, I don't know, join now. You'd have to put the whole URL in or make sure that it's working, but you can track that the URL that the pixel's tracking all the URLs. I want the ones that say join now. And then I want to exclude people who got to a page which said /thank you, something like that. Because then we know they got the welcome pack. We know they've already finished signing up for the open day event. We know that why would we advertise to people who've already done the activity that we're trying to do the CTA, the call to action for? I can include more people, I can exclude people, and yeah. So we're including everybody that visited the Join Now page or the email sign up page, whatever it's called. You'd need to check and see what yours are called. I need to give my audience a name. So I call it Pixel, because I need to remember it's a Pixel one, not one that I've created, like manually created. I'm going to call it, I don't know, let's say they visited the / I don't know what your naming convention is on your website, but hopefully it's something like, let's say enroll-Bahasa. And then I would probably go in and include people that speak Bahasa or don't speak Bahasa or whatever. Pixel, and then it's the Bahasa audience, and then description, interested in Bahasa courses, or maybe they speak Bahasa. I can't remember what I was saying now. They speak Bahasa, and they were reading Bahasa, and they were coming in from Southeast Asia. And you can fiddle-faddle that around later. Interest in Bahasa courses, not yet got, I don't know, enrollment pack, something. And then I create the audience. So when I've created the audience, it's now saved, and I can use it for multiple things. And that's what these ad platforms, not just Facebook, all of them offer you. Create your audience, and then what do you want to do with the audience? the first thing it can do is create a lookalike audience. So let's say 1,500 people came to your website and they looked at the page and they looked interested or they were interested. The platforms can go off, analyze these people, look at what's called the core audience. They're young, they're 18 to 20, they live in these countries and these areas, they have this kind of an income, they are interested in these kind of things, and it looks for similarities between them. And then it goes off to find strangers that map that audience. So if one of the telltale signs is they're looking at courses overseas, then what the platforms will do, Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, is find other people, and they'll create a lookalike audience of people who are interested in courses overseas but didn't come to your university website. Does that make sense? So the lookalike audience is the stranger audience. It's not FOAF, so it's not friend of a friend. It's not they're friends with the students or they went to school with the students. It's just that they have a lot of tells, a lot of similarities in their online behaviours that allow the platforms to use artificial intelligence to create a lookalike audience. Let's keep going. We can then create an ad. So we can actually go in on the platforms and say, now that we've got the audience, I need to create the ad. I'm getting really cross with that thing flicking in and out. Maybe I'll just go out. Yeah, that'll do. And that got rid of me. You know what I look like anyway. Should be enough, I think. So let me just come over here. And I want to go to I like to do these live because I really want you guys to see what it looks like or what these look like. But turn that one off. Okay, that's better. So if I don't do them live and I pre-record them or I do death by PowerPoint, it doesn't have the immediacy of somebody actually doing things and making mistakes, and it feels a lot more connected. So I can create another custom audience. So I can keep going in and choosing different parts of my website and create lots of custom audiences. And then another thing I can do is create an ad. And I promised you we would create an ad today. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create an ad. And I'm going to use my campaign objective. I guess we could use conversions. No, actually, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to boost a post because I promised boosting posts as well. So we'll combine them both, boosted posts with pixel target audiences. We're going to boost a post we've already done that's already popular. Maybe it's about an evening lecture series that's coming up on Wednesday in a couple of weeks or something, and we know that people were interested in that and they came to the website and looked, but they didn't finish signing up. So I want to send them an ad, and I'm not going to hassle them. I'm not going to say, and let's be clear here, we're not going to stalk them. We're not going to say you didn't sign up for that event you were interested in. You're just simply going to send out a little ad which says, hey, in a couple of weeks we've got a great lecture, blah blah blah, happening. Are you interested? And they're thinking, oh yeah, I saw that. I wanted to go. I forgot to sign up. I don't know, kids projectile vomited, or dog ran out into the street and they had to run after it, or something happened. The phone rang. So we're going to do engagement. We're going to do post engagement, which means boosting a post. And then we're going to name the campaign. So the campaign's like the bucket that the money goes in, the scheduling, the content, so the image and the text or the post itself, and the audiences go in here. So I'm going to call it test campaign so I can find it later to delete it, because that's what I seem to do on this account. And then I'm going to call this test ad set, and then this one is test ad. Now, normally I would put the date in as well, but we're okay. We're good. Let's keep going. Any of the platforms tend to work this way. I think LinkedIn is the same order. Let me just have a quick look. So we're in campaign. if I go in and create a campaign, it's pretty well in the same order. If it's the opposite way around, you'll figure it out. But basically, the campaign is up here. Your ad set is your audience, your budget, and your scheduling. And then the ad itself tends to be mostly which post do you want to use, that sort of thing. So I'm going to come down here. It's always an auction. Now, there is something at the moment with universities, and I just need to give you a bit of a warning. Universities and colleges, because they're hitting the credit, employment and housing opportunities that there are some blocks on what universities and colleges can do until you've verified your account and you've marked your ads in a special way. We've run into it. I'd be interested to know if you have as well. Let me know. But especially if you're sort of targeting alumni and things like that. And I've also had an issue with targeting university employees. So that's come under this. It's called YMYL, Your Money, Your Life. And they're quite strict. Google is even stricter on it. We'll sort all this stuff out later. There's better tools for it as we go in. So in my ad set, the first thing that you'll need to do is change this to lifetime budget. We're going to change the schedule. Now, always with anything on Facebook, you're looking at the different data sets like the last active 50/24. Did they interact with your posts in their last 24 hours and their last 50 interactions? So we know the 24 hours is critical. We know that the MAU, monthly active user, which is 28 days, is critical. And then the third one I want to bring in specifically for the Facebook ads and social ads for universities and colleges is that the first 14 days allow the algorithm to determine whether, I guess, that everything's working and that it's all okay. So I'm going to leave that at a month. So I'm going to say 300, let's say $150. So what's that, about $2.50 a day or something? Your maths is better than mine. Hey ho. This drives me bonkers. Custom audiences should be up here. They make it look like you have to choose like secondary audiences and you don't have to. The saved audiences is the manual audience. This is the one that you go in and you say, I want to target 18 to 23-year-olds that live in Jakarta, that are finishing university and are interested in university. And you would manually create that audience by selecting everything. With custom audiences, I can go in here and choose my custom audiences, and I called it Pixel Bahasa. So if you're just joining us, hi, you're late for the lecture. But at the beginning, I went in and created a website pixel audience that said if people visited the university page, there I go again, that's about Bahasa courses. No, it was about medical courses, but written in Bahasa. Then I would choose that one. Pixel Bahasa. They visited that page, but they did not get the thank you page. So in other words, they did not get the sign up now or thank you for your interest or anything like that. Thank you for sending us your email address. So that's the website pixel narrowed down. I can then edit. I can change the location. People who live in Jakarta. Oh yeah, I've got to take the other one out. Well, I don't want to do Australia. Jakarta, Indonesia, Singapore, wherever you like. And then I can change the gender and I can change the targeting. Now, if I go into browse and I choose demographics, education, let me just come onto this one because it's flickering again. And then their education level is, I guess it depends if I'm targeting alumni or high school. Maybe they're in high school. And then I could narrow it down further. One of the reasons I like lookalike audiences is because it's clearer to the algorithm that the people who are visiting a page have certain behaviors, and they need to find other people that map those behaviors. Not everybody who finishes high school in Australia, in America, in Jakarta, in Singapore wants to go on and study at university. But, I'm using my pixel, so the numbers are less than 10. Oops. And then I can also select the language here. A lot of that would have already been done by having a page in Bahasa, but obviously if you're doing everything in English, then that's different. You can then resave the audience. Now, I always do manual placements, but that's because I tend to trust my own decisions and how I can just check sizes of images and things like that as I go through. We haven't chosen the content yet, so that's an issue. And another one that I want to point out is the reason why we changed it to lifetime is we want timing. Where's timing gone? Come on. I do this like 50 million times a day. Where is it? These are not languages, is it? No. Placement. And I did change it from, see, this is the thing, if you don't change it to lifetime in the budget area, you know what, I'm going to keep going because I've lost the thing now where I put in how much money and all that stuff. Oh, there we go. So here we've got the start date, and it says it's in the past because it's on Pacific time. Yeah, Pacific time. So I'm just going to make that for tomorrow, just so we can get out of that. Then under that is show more options, and then we edit the time there. Now, that's what I normally do. I normally set this and then set the timing and then move on. And I didn't. I broke my normal way of teaching this, which is always silly. Okay, so if you select 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., we'll only show your ads to people from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in their local time. So we're running this on viewers' time. If you want to change it to Pacific time and have a hard time, you can. And if you have a hard time, a hard deadline, you should do that and you should adapt it for Pacific time. So as an example, applications have to be in by 5 p.m. Sydney time on Friday the 13th of March, whatever it is. Then you want to analyze what that is in Pacific time, translate it, convert it, and then make sure that you say that in the post, and that you then also finish the ads on time. I like viewers' time because I know when my viewers are online. So there's no point an ad going out at 6 a.m. for teenagers. I'm sorry, have you met teenagers? It's just not going to happen. Older teenagers, they might be getting home at 6 a.m. from partying at the uni bar and then going on to clubs and whatever else it is they get up to. But, otherwise I'm going to be talking to them before they start their hospitality shift or whatever it is that I think they might be doing. So I do like to set specific times and schedules, and then I like to monitor that because it gives me more insight as to when they're interested in that particular topic and how interested they are. Wednesday afternoons is Wednesday wine and Mummy Loves Wine and things like that in certain parts of the world and not in other parts of the world. For instance, in Jakarta, I lived there for a few years. Fridays and Saturdays are more like Australian Saturdays and Sundays. So I don't want to waste my ad, and I want to make sure I'm targeting the people at the time and the disposition of when they would be interested in looking at that thing. A funny video will get played in the evenings, but something just before bedtime that's going to take a lot of research and in-depth thought might not work. Just saying that, you know. Okay, so so I created the audience first, so then I could pull it in here. You could create it here, but I often feel like then you go back and you're rethinking all this stuff, so that might not work. It doesn't work for me. I need to be able to know my audience first and then target them. Now, what else are we looking at here? If your images are not the correct size, your ad won't be delivered, or you'll pay more. The platforms do not like the images to be an incorrect size. So one of the things we do is we run multiple ad sets. That's up here. This ad set's under the same campaign, but different ad sets. Don't worry about the error message. And we do one for Facebook, one for Audience Network, one for Instagram, one for mobile, one for non-mobile, so that each image is the exact correct size. And that's pretty easy to do if you've got an in-house graphic designer that can quickly reformat everything into the correct templates. They literally click a button and it works. And you just duplicate the ads and then put the correct size image up for the correct platform and delivery channel. It's not so much fun if you are the only person doing this and you're doing it all manually. I think Canva, the professional version of Canva, has the paid-for version has a one-click button to resize everything in the correct size, but you'll have to check that. We recommend square and vertical images. Yeah, but which one? All right. So once all this is done, go away with the help file. I didn't need you. We go to next. I will always check the reach. I don't need a reach of 50 million people. We're not trying to sign up 50 million people. I'm much happier if the reach is a few thousand people, and then those few thousand are super targeted and they all show an interest, or 90% of them show an interest, and then we can build the lookalike audience from that. It's called a core audience. Core audience applies to both organic, i.e. what you put up on your page, and also to paid, i.e. the audience that you're targeting in your ads. Let's click next. So I chose to boost an existing post. Do you remember that? Right back at the beginning when we chose campaign. So when I choose, now I could create an ad, which just means an image and text. But if I want to boost a post that's already doing well, then I come in here and I select the post. It doesn't like my video post, but that's too bad. And I click continue for Facebook, or I can go into Instagram and boost something from Instagram. I can boost stuff from partners and joint venture partners. So if you've got a key centre or a study centre, I don't know, university bar, the auditorium, something like that, then you can share those things. What's on in the refectory? So I click continue. And this will allow me to boost the post. Now it's showing, I should have chosen video because all my posts are video on this page. It could be where you're watching this video. And I can see a preview here of what they will look like. Instagram feed, Facebook feed, and then video feeds. Don't worry about this. This is just because it was a live video. It's not letting me do it. My call to action button, I like learn more. I think it's behaviorally, textually, contextually connected to universities and what students, potential students, alumni are trying to find out. Are they shopping in a generic kind of way, but they won't appreciate being called shoppers? So just learn more on there. And then if if you want to direct them back to finish that sign up, I would do that. So here's the thought. You put up a post which says, next Wednesday, we've got an event with a guest lecturer. Then you create an audience of everybody that came to look at that post and clicked through and went to the website and looked at the website, but did not complete the sign up. And then they went back and now they're on Facebook doing something completely different for the rest of the week. You want to target the ads to that audience. That's your pixel audience. They came to the website, they saw the sign up for the event next week, but they didn't finish the sign up. So you want to target an ad to them which says, hey, here's this post on Facebook about the thing you were looking at. It doesn't matter if they got to the website from an email newsletter or anywhere else. They're going to get a Facebook post boosted into their newsfeed that says there's a lecture next Wednesday. You might be interested in this. So now I'm going to drive them back with the Learn More button directly to that page that had the pixel remarketing tags on it. So just pretend this is a university and then event. And that will drive them back to that URL that they came from originally. Does that make sense? I hope so. Good. So if I click update post, I don't want to do that, but it's going to edit the post slightly by giving it a call to action and a link. It's tracking the pixel so I can retrack and remarket people. There's all sorts of tracking. You can say people that played a video for more than 30, was it 3 seconds or more than 30 seconds, or 10 seconds or something. And I can, I'm going to leave the URL parameters. It basically just means key 1 is really that they came in from ad number 1, and key 2, they came in from post number 2, or the post in January or the post in February, or whatever it is that you're trying to track. So you can put in different keys for these different ads. Once all that's done, you click publish in the bottom right hand corner. It'll be rejected 1 in 5 times. It's just how these platforms algorithms work. The robot, the artificial intelligence, is trying to figure out things, and it rejects it and asks for clarification, different things. Don't let it panic you. Don't get fussed by it. It's all good. I do want to talk for a second about cold audiences versus hot audiences and the kind of content that you promote to each one. So if you're targeting alumni that already know you, or you're targeting for our friends, brothers and sisters of people who are already at the university, then they tend to be warm audiences. It's not going to come as a shock to them to see a university they hear discussed a lot or they've always built relationships with. It's not going to come as a shock to them to see the ads. So you can do a stronger call to action with them, something that's more in the promotion and less in the content. So a promotion would be, we're having an opening day, click here for the information, or we're having a lecture, click here to sign up. What you may want is a content strategy with your promotions for the cold leads. These are people that don't know you and are not connected to you. They meet certain criteria, but they may not be familiar with your course or your events or your university in general, your college in general. And they're called cold leads. And you really want to go soft with them. The first time they hear from you shouldn't be, sign up here, buy now, click here, download now. It should be softly. So it could be boosting those super popular posts on Instagram, which we saw in the last lecture, that are what we call beauty spots. The tree at Harvard, there's a bridge one in Oxford, I think, or the river, something like that. But it's more about marketing than the sounds. It's more about the feel, the way it all feels. So that, once it's published, then you can go into the analytics. We did analytics in last week, and we went through the difference between impressions and reach and things like that. I don't want to go through analytics now because we've only got an hour for this lecture. I want to cover a couple of other things specifically to do with ads. But yes, analytics are super important. You're wasting your money if you're not analyzing the numbers. Seriously, wasting it. All right, so what are we doing now? I've got other lectures on creating saved audiences, custom audiences, installing the pixels and things like that. But this is what we can get through today. So with my audiences, they're saved. So they're all manual, joined but not complete, interested in a specific campaign but did not get to checkout, people who looked like people that visited specific pages, 1%, 1 to 2%, 2 to 5%, and then the rest are manual audiences. Fabo 2 group. Oh, that was for a specific Facebook group. Interested group that was tracking the pixel, and that's for people that are interested in my landing page about my 3-day course. I always put the year in because I like to go back and analyze and check it later on. And nosy facey friends who helped with my homepage today. That was a really old one. All right. So a couple more things on the pixel. You can, of course, add the Twitter pixel and the LinkedIn pixel. Now, I'll show you the LinkedIn pixel because I think it's interesting. And then I want to talk about the future as Safari and Firefox are removing the pixel and as Chrome is removing the pixel, and the fact that you'll need to change your pixel, get your developer to change the pixel setup on the back end, okay? You can still track with tags, but you won't be able to use browser pixels. Right, so with LinkedIn, same kind of an idea. I'm in my LinkedIn campaign manager, and then I'm on my insight. I called my pixel insight tag for laurelpapworth.com. So in other words, my website also has a LinkedIn pixel. And then I can compare that audience with another audience that I've created, or if I create another audience. And then I can see what the job function is of the people who are looking at a specific course. So let's say you've got a graduate course in marketing. You can confirm that everything's working because it's predominantly marketing people that come to your website. If you're seeing lots of people coming in from healthcare or, I don't know, legal, then you might think, oh, our keywords aren't optimized, or our ads aren't optimized, or something is going wrong. Because my website is, and I've just chosen the whole website here, is primarily for marketing, media comms type people, social media marketing, this is pretty well what I would expect. One of the nice things with LinkedIn that the other platforms don't give you is job title. So I get a lot of social media marketing consultants and specialists coming through my page. I think you would expect that. And I can also see the companies. So the Community Crew is my company. And a lot of the other, Active Campaign, that was the one I was trying to think of earlier that I said was American and started with an A. And I can see these are students of mine, clients of mine, and they're not. New York City Police Department. What are you doing? Don't arrest me. I'm in Australia. So LinkedIn it's very interesting how LinkedIn tracks what people are doing on my website. So if you were to rock up at my website and have a bit of a snoop around, that's fine because LinkedIn is snooping back for me so that I can see what's going on. So a lot of people in e-learning, a few people in higher ed, and some people in marketing and others. We are pretty well out of time, but yes, I have the Facebook Pixel Helper with my secret pixel ID. You can go to anybody's website, by the way, and you'll see the pixels on them if they're running them. Actually, let's do that. Let's go to Harvard. I pick on Harvard because they're overseas and they won't know I'm picking on them. And that's the Gazette. I don't want the Gazette. Why am I typing in caps? That's a good question. So when I'm on the Harvard page, I can see that there's 2 pixels here, and it's actually only 1 pixel, but they've got a couple of different, I guess, micro parameters that they're running. Click to copy. Now, if I click on View Analytics or troubleshoot the pixel, nothing will happen because it's not my pixel. It is interesting to see the load time. I'm always interested in that. And this is the data that it's pulling, I guess. I don't know if that's the sort of thing that you're interested in. Go and have a look at those things. I do always check the OG description and the OG description and the OG image. If the ads are not pulling the correct image from the website, or if when I share a link, it's not pulling the correct image in, it's usually because the OG image is broken. So there's a few things here that I use pixels, but to be honest, I can use the developers tool and do something that's called rescraping the website to make sure that those things are working. Anyway, I'm waffling now. Definitely have a look at how you probably need to add a new plugin to WordPress now if you were running a WordPress site to add the pixel. Whatever other content management system you're using, your CMS for your university, make sure that they've reinstalled whatever the equivalent of the pixel is that's coming out. It's a privacy thing. Blocking pixels at a browser level means you have to do it at a back-end level. But you don't, if you're already doing this stuff, if you're already tracking people through your website and then directing ads back to them, I would suggest that you really think about making sure that those audiences are transferring across correctly, or you will start to lose that data. If you haven't installed the LinkedIn one, I think it's worth it, especially if you've got like alumni events and you want to see what companies are checking out your alumni events. And Twitter, I don't know, depends if you're doing ad campaigns on Twitter. Instagram, definitely. All of them. I don't know. So yes, where are we at? 6 minutes too. Okay. Sorry about the flickering. It's I'm going to have to figure out how to get a powered adapter for my Mac. But if you haven't already, go back and look at the lecture series. Number 1 was strategy. Number 2 was social media toolboxes and dashboards. Number 3 was content scheduling. Number 4 was analytics. And then obviously number 5 was Facebook pixel remarketing and LinkedIn remarketing and things like that. This is the end of the series for universities and so on and so forth. Unless somebody contacts me and says they want next Thursday to be on a specific topic. And I'm happy to do that. But be really clear that it's got to be, I don't want to just do basic social media. I like to do very directed 1 hour in-depth lectures. So let me know what you think would be interesting for next Thursday. You can choose a different industry. I'm happy to do a series for a different industry. Or you can choose something for universities and colleges, and we'll do a live stream on that one. It's driving me nuts, this blinking. And then I'll do a live stream. Next Monday, 10:45 a.m. Sydney time is social media news. Next Thursday, I'm going to leave open. I think I do owe one more to the university series, so I'll have a think about that. There's a few different things that we could do. Influencers might be interesting. How influencers work with universities and colleges, what the crisis comms situations would be with influencers, and then the flip side of that, how to build out ambassador programs, how to measure influencers. Actually, let's do that one, because I did want to get to 6 lectures, for a minimum of 6 for each. So uni ambassadors. I won't call them ambassadors, we'll call them influencers. All right, the private tutorials start in April. It's a social media audit in April. If you're interested, email my PA at laurelpapworth.com, pa@laurelpapworth.com. Otherwise, I will see you on Monday. Yay. All right, thanks guys, see you, bye.